The year is 356 of the 4th Age of Middle-earth. It's been 3.5 centuries since the events of the Lord of the Rings, when Sauron was destroyed and Aragorn crowned king of the reunited kingdom. During that time, the elves continued to leave Middle-earth and go west. The dwarves delved further and further underground, while the orcs, previously powered by the will of Sauron, scattered and dwindled away. What was left was the dominion of men, and in the words of Tolkien, the most regrettable feature of men is their quick satiety with good, and as such, Middle-earth was once again plunged into war. In the lands of the reunited kingdom, a dark cult called the New Shadow began to emerge shortly after the death of Aragorn, in 120 of the 4th Age. At first, this cult seemed inconsequential, but over time it began to gain followers. By the time Aragorn's grandson had ascended to the throne, the cult had significant influence throughout the kingdom, and had also infiltrated the royal family. What followed was civil war, causing the formation of a new Dunedainic faction, Adunabar, who now control the old realm of Mordor and vast swathes of land in Arnor. In the lands south of Mordor, a revolt, precipitated by the cult's agents, led to the capture of Umbar and the reformation of the Empire of Harad, who called on their fleet of corsairs to beat back the reunited kingdom. Further north, the lands of Hrondor broke away, declaring their independence. Taking advantage of this chaos, and with the reunited kingdom preoccupied and defending its southern borders, the Dunlendings rose up and established themselves in the lands north of Rohan, taking Orthanc and expanding west. Their traditional enemy Rohan remains an ally of the reunited kingdom, but the relationship is not as strong as it once was. Further west we have Tharbad, a city-state benefiting from being on the banks of the Grey Flood. It became a rich trading settlement during the early years of the 4th Age. In an effort to protect these trade interests, it has chosen to remain neutral in amongst all the conflict. In the east, the men of Runinkand, buoyed by the conflict against the reunited kingdom, are primed for military conquest. While the elves continued to depart Middle-earth following the end of the Third Age, certain groups of men moved closer to elven lands, to trade with them and learn what they could from those who were yet to journey west. They are known as the Elf Friends, or Elvelyn. While the elven realm is much diminished, they will be able to call upon the Elvelyn should war fall upon them. Returning to the Golden Age, Dale maintains a prosperous trade relationship with the dwarves, but its expansion east means it now borders with Dorwinion, a fellow trade-based faction. Out of the ever-present conflicts between Eastern invaders and the reunited kingdom, the Kingdom of Rhovanion has once again been born, but surrounded on all sides by potential enemies, the prospect of war seems inevitable. Having been developed over 15 years, 4th Age Total War is considered to be one of the most complex mods ever made, and a port is now coming to Rome Remastered. The mod is based on the unfinished sequel to The Lord of the Rings by Tolkien, called The New Shadow, and it is faithful to the spirit and lore of Tolkien's world. The creators of the original 4th Age mod are hugely experienced and push the game to its absolute limits, with unique, innovative uses of gameplay features and deeply enhanced mechanics. 4th Age Total War Remastered is a faithful port of the original mod, and as such, features a fully fledged map of Middle-earth, custom settlements for the Dwarven, Elven and Dunedainic factions, as well as iconic battle maps for Minas Anor and also Helm's Deep. There are numerous wonders of Middle-earth, such as the Argonath, Stone of Eric and Orthanc, as well as notable features such as the Beacons of Gondor and the Carrot. Every area has cards displaying information about that location and what has happened during the 4th Age, and additionally the advice system has been used to communicate information without features of Middle-earth. The mod features a complex settlement and building system. Firstly, settlements are split between permanent forts and regular settlements. Forts provide little financial benefit, but are key strategic positions and can be used to retrain mercenaries from that area. In terms of regular settlements, you will have to choose how you want to develop each city. This is driven by the policy selected, i.e. financial, military, or administrative. The policy chosen governs the type of buildings that can be constructed in that city. The financial policy, for example, will give you access to higher tier markets, while the military policy will give access to higher tier barracks. The specialization of cities requires thought and planning, and makes for a more engaging campaign. In addition, resources being present in a region will allow you to build certain industries, which financially can be very beneficial. There are also chief cities denoted by the blue marker, which are considered important locations. These settlements are not subject to any policy restrictions, and you can build everything in these locations. The different types of settlements means that invasions have to be carefully thought out. Taking a fort, for example, might give you control over an important choke point, but it won't give you much in the way of economic benefit. Taking a chief city, on the other hand, will give you a lot of economic benefit, but may leave you exposed. Furthermore, captured settlements have to be pacified, or there will be public order penalties, which deters from rapid overextension and makes conquest more realistic. Recruitment is location based. For example, the Axemen of Lossarnoch can only be recruited from Arnak. To reflect the fact that elves and dwarves are diminishing at this time, the elven and dwarven units can only be recruited from elven and dwarven lands, which have lower population growth to reflect this demise. The trait system is very deep and extremely detailed, and is probably one of the biggest achievements of this mod. To give you an idea of how complex the system is, the 4th Age Total War trait file has 574,000 lines of code compared to the base game, which has 13,000 lines of code. Every general has a long set of traits which makes them truly unique, and in my opinion that makes the experience more immersive and allows you to get more attached to your generals. The port is something I was working on during the second half of 2023. I'm aiming to release a version of the mod soon, and I hope you will follow the channel for more updates.